Good afternoon students, welcome to class 10 biology class. As we are discussing the lymphatic system. Okay, I have already told the lymphatic system. What are the lymphatic the components? The lymphatic vessels I have discussed. So one by one I will discuss. The first one is the lymph. The lymphatic system, the main component is the lymph. Okay, the lymph, what is lymph? And what is the difference between the lymph and blood? The lymph actually the colorless or slightly yellowish colors, most of this is the colorless, and it is the part of the tissue fluid in terms the part of the blood plasma. Actually this is the part of the tissue fluid and it is the colorless fluid as the same as the composition of tissue fluid and lymph is the same as the blood plasma, but tissue fluid and lymph have a lower protein contents. Actually the lymph the colorless fluid and it is the part of the tissue fluid. And what is the difference between the blood and the lymph? The blood contain the different types of cell, RBC, WBC and platelet, and different types of protein. But here lymph, the lymphocyte is present or the leukocyte is present. Okay, but RBC and platelet is not present in the lymph. RBC and platelet is not present, and the different types of protein also. Actually the lymph don't have the protein, plasma proteins and the RBC and the platelets. The difference between the blood and the lymph. Now what is the function? Now have to know the what is the function. Here the most important things here, this is the what is the function of lymph. The first one, it carries the lymphocytes and the antibodies from the lymph node to the blood. Actually they help in our immune system. The most important here things is a helps in immune system. The lymphocyte is present or the antibodies is present, helps in immune systems. Also it is the carries the lymphocyte antibodies from the lymph node to blood. Also from the lymph node to blood. What is the lymph node? I will discuss in later. The lymph node, it transports the fat from the intestine to the blood. Okay, after digestion, the three types of the food, the carbohydrate, protein, fat. After digestion of the fat, the fatty acid and glycerol is formed. Okay, the fatty acid, also the after digestion carbohydrate, the glucose is from the smaller molecules, and the glucose and the protein is absorbed by the blood vessel and enter into the blood. But the fat is a largest molecule. The fatty acid glycerols cannot enter into the blood. Most of this is the fats absorbed through the lacteals, means lymphatic vessels. Okay, lacteal. Actually it transports the fat molecules from the intestine to the blood. Most important functions. And it destroys the microorganism, helps in the immune system. It drains the excessive tissue fluid from the intracellular space back to the blood. It drains the excessive tissue fluid from the intracellular space and back to the blood. And it carries the plasma proteins and the macromolecules synthesis and liver cells, hormone. But more important function, the first one is the helps in immune system. It transports the fats. Also it drains and the excessive destroy the microorganisms and the foreign particles. Okay. Now the lymph node. What is lymph node? Lymph node. Lymph node. Lymph node, that the specific point in the lymph vessels, there are enlargement like beads on string. These are called the lymph node. The lymph node contains the lymphocyte, plasma cells and macrophages. What is the lymph node? At the specific point in the lymphatic vessels, the enlargements of a bead and string, enlargements of the muscles is present. This is called the lymph node. And lymph node contains the lymphocyte, plasma cells and macrophages. In the lymph node contains the lymphocytes, macrophages and plasma cell. Okay, so the lymph node presence. And The lymph nodes are abundant in region of the neck, armpits and the worm. The tonsils, you know here the tonsil is present. What is the tonsils? Tonsils and the adenoid are the masses of the lymphatic tissue. Then what is the tonsils? What these things? What tonsil and what is the function of these things? The tonsil is present. Sometimes doctors say that your tonsil present this side. This is the gland, actually the tonsils. The tonsils are the aggregation of lymphatic nodules that enclosed in the mucous membrane. Actually the tonsil, what is the tonsil? Tonsil, the aggregation of lymphatic nodules. These are the lymph node, the lymphatic nodule, aggregation of lymphatic nodules and enclosed by the mucous membrane. Enclosed by the mucous membrane, and it is located in the junction of oral cavity and the pharynx. Here it is located, oral cavity and the pharynx. It is enclosed by mucous membranes. This is the, what is the function of these tonsils? Their location best suited to protect the body against the entry of any foreign substances through the oral cavity. Actually it protects, any the foreign particles cannot enter through this oral cavity. And also produce the lymphocytes and the antibodies. Also produce the lymphocytes and antibodies. The spleen, number one, also the spleen. The spleen also the lymphatic organs. The tonsils or the lymphatic tissue, aggregation of lymphatic muscles. And the last one is the lymphatic organ, which is spleen. What is the spleen and where it is located? Have to know. Okay, first one, the spleen. What is the spleen? The spleen is the largest mass of lymphatic tissue found in our body. Actually, this is the largest mass found in our body, lymphatic tissue, the largest mass. Okay, the spleen, and it is measured and it is situated in the between the fundus of the stomach and the diaphragm. It is between in the fundus of the stomach and the diaphragm. Fundus is the first part, is the stomach, is called the fungus. What is the functions? It produces the antibodies, obviously. It destroys the RBC, dead RBC and platelets. Most important function is destroy the red RBC and platelets. In embryonic stage, it also produces the RBC. Okay, this is the spleen. That is the largest mass. Then the lymphatic tissue found in our body, the lymphatic organs or the lymphatic tissue, the largest mass of lymphatic tissue found in our body, it produces the antibodies. Also in embryonic stage, it produces the RBC and it destroys the red RBC also. Okay, and I hope it is clear. And the lymphatic systems, the function here the most importance, and your chapter 8 completed the circulatory systems. Okay.